Is it really worth Femto unlocking your car, and should you do it yourself? Well, I don't know, but we're gonna try to figure it out. So if you guys are new to this channel, I recently Femto unlocked my GR Supra with the B58 thanks to Keys Motorsports, and we tuned this thing with BM3 Stage 2. And well, I know the B58 community, and honestly just a general BMW and Supra community, and it's a community who loves to tune their cars. If you guys didn't know, I also have a G80 M3, so I know people are just as crazy about tuning those cars as well, but as I'm sure you guys are aware, these cars are not easy to tune. The ECUs from factory come locked. So unlike the good old days with the F-chassis BMWs, you can easily just plug in an OBD adapter, tune your car with BM3, and be done with it. These days, it's not that simple. You have to Femto unlock your car, or you can go to Piggyback tune. Now, if you guys didn't know, recently, I did put a Piggyback tune on the Supra, specifically the Daler tune, and I had some opinions about that. But now that I've experienced both, I want to tell you guys which one I think is a better option. Now, for those who aren't familiar with the Piggyback tune, this is what I'm talking about. So these are a literal physical unit which you hardwire into your engine bay using a few ports like your boost gauge and a few other things. It looks overwhelming. I know it looks like it's a lot, but honestly, these things are super easy to install. If you guys didn't watch that video, check it out. It's one of my more recent videos. These things are honestly great for a lot of people, but in my opinion, a certain type of person. I said it in that video and I'll say it again here, these things are great for someone who just wants a little extra power but doesn't want the customizability or doesn't want to go crazy with their car. Maybe you're a little more conservative, you like your car, but you just want that extra bit of boost. These things are perfect for you. Now, these are customizable in the sense that you can adjust how much power it's giving your car, but it's not that crazy. It can actually connect to your phone via like Bluetooth or something like that, so you can turn it on, turn it off, and kind of turn it up and down, but these things are set to preset maps, and you're pretty much limited to that. If you guys are wondering, because I know a lot of BMW people love burbles and all that, you cannot customize burbles with a Piggyback tune like that. You're pretty much stuck on your stock setup, so you can only really adjust this in the sense of how much power it's outputting, but nothing else. And now the reason why that's so important is because, well, if you Femto unlock your car, you can flash tune it, and if you flash tune your car, you have all the customizability. Yeah, there's off-the-shelf maps, and I know a lot of people are going to be like, well, that's pretty much an off-the-shelf map, but a flash tune is as well. Yeah, typically, but you can do custom maps as well. You can literally get someone to customize your specific car with your specific mods and get the best power output possible. That's only possible with a flash tune. Also, with a flash tune, you have other customizable stuff like burbles, like cold start, and then another big one is coding out your downpipe check engine light. So again, for those of you who are new here, this Supra, like I said, is tuned on stage 2, so that does mean it has a downpipe. Now, in my case, I don't really care about the check engine light too much because, well, I actually don't have a check engine light, and that is because I'm currently running an MST high flow catted downpipe, which you guys can see right in there. So in my case, I don't have to worry about a check engine light because this downpipe does not throw a check engine light. But I know a lot of you guys want to go for a catless downpipe for a few reasons. It sounds better, it's cheaper, you can get more power. But unfortunately, with a catless downpipe, well, your O2 sensors are going to bug out because there's no catalytic converter, so it's going to throw a check engine light on your dash. And yeah, I know that has nothing to do with power, so if you have a catless downpipe and you still run one of these, these are pretty much only stage 2, so you're really not going to take advantage of your catless downpipe. But then also, you're going to have that check engine light on all the time. It's going to be confusing and weird. Like if you ever have something else that's throwing a check engine light, you're not going to really know because you just have one on by default all the time. And there's just a whole bunch of other things that go along with that. But with a flash tune, you guys can actually code that out. Now, keep in mind, for New York State inspections, and I think Jersey and a few other states, that doesn't mean you can pass inspection. Some people say you can. I personally don't think you can because when I had my 435 and I had a catless downpipe, well, I coded out with BM3, but I still wasn't able to pass inspection. The point is, with a Piggyback tune or just no tune at all, if you have a catless downpipe, you're stuck with that check engine light. But if you Femto unlock your car and you flash tune your car, you can code that out. Again, not for inspection, but at least you won't have it on your dash and you'll actually be able to tell if there's something else wrong with the car. Now, in case you guys aren't able to tell, it is currently snowing, so we're gonna hop inside the car and I'm gonna talk to you guys a little more about the whole Femto unlock and the benefits of flash tuning. Now, I know it sounds like I'm kind of comparing a flash tune to a Piggyback tune, and that's because, guys, Femto unlock just unlocks your ECU. It's not an actual tune, which I feel like some people think it is. Femto unlock is giving you the ability to flash tune. Anyways, I want to jump into the BM3 app and show you guys some of the things that you can actually do with a flash tune. All right, so as you guys can see on screen, I'm currently inside the BM3 app and I'm currently in my tune. So you guys can see I have two tunes. One is my stock tune, pretty straightforward. The second one is my multi-map stage 2. So if you guys didn't know, I actually did go for a multi-map on the Supra. I'll show you guys some of the benefits of that later, maybe in another video, but the point is it's tuned on stage 2. So if we go into that, we can actually go into the settings over here. Now, if we go into settings, we can adjust each map. Again, this is a multi-map, but we're just gonna stick with the generals. So if we click into there, you can see we have a whole bunch of options. And again, guys, all this stuff you can't have with a piggyback tune. So we have a whole bunch of stuff here. We have GTS roar, a whole bunch of stuff. We have exhaust flap. So the speed limiter, you can remove your speed limiter. Here's the one I was talking about before, catalytic monitors. I can actually leave that on OEM because again, I have a high flow cat downpipe, high pressure fuel pump, a whole bunch of stuff. Anti-lag, throttle response. I actually kind of want to adjust that, but maybe we'll save that for another day. But yeah, guys, the point is you can do a whole bunch of stuff. And then I know something, so one, catalytic converter is a major thing that a lot of you guys are going to care about, but something else I'm sure a lot of you guys are going to care about if I go into some of the more specific settings is exhaust burbles. So if you guys can see here, I personally put burbles pretty much to off during comfort mode and then to like max during sport mode. So you can do that with a flash tune, you can do that with a Femto unlock, but again, a piggyback tune, you cannot do something like that. So the point of me saying all this, guys, is when you do a Femto unlock and when you do a flash tune, you just have so much more customizability, if that makes sense. Like there's just so much more you can do with it. And some things, yeah, are probably a little gimmicky or not necessary, like GTS roar or something like that, but coding out your catalytic converter, check engine light, or doing burbles, stuff like that, or even anti-lag, those are major benefits to a flash tune. So just my opinion, guys, there's a lot of stuff you can do. So maybe for that reason alone, you might find it beneficial to do a Femto unlock. All right, now let's go into the next thing, which is the main reason why anyone would tune their car, and that's power. So now this is a tough one to talk about because it depends. What kind of power do you guys want? Do you want to Femto unlock your car, go stage 2? Do you want to Femto unlock your car, go for an E-Mix? Or do you want to Femto unlock your car and go for like a big turbo or something like that? The point is, regardless, you can do that. Now, I think for most people, especially on the B58 platform, even maybe an S58, you probably want to go stage 2. Stage 2, in my opinion, is a good amount of power. You're not really compromising, what's the word? Convenience. Like you don't have to go and get a certain fuel mixture or go crazy and, kind of challenge the reliability of your car. Stage 2 is a good balance. It's a good amount of power. And it's, in my opinion, the right balance. And I think what most people are gonna do. So we're gonna talk about stage 2. So with a piggyback tune, you're obviously limited in terms of power. Now there are some piggyback tunes that will push more power, but again, like I was saying before, guys, you really can't take advantage of certain things like your catless downpipe or your high pressure fuel pump or something like that. With a Femto unlock and with a flash tune, you can. So that in itself is a massive advantage. Now, in terms of how much power you can actually get with a stage 2 tune, obviously it's gonna vary depending on your platform. Like if you have an S58, a B58, what I will tell you guys is this Supra, we did run it on a dyno. So we ran the Supra on a dyno in its stock form, as well as on a stage 2 tune, again with the high flow catted downpipe. I'll throw up the dyno on the screen so you guys can see the exact numbers. I'll try my best to kind of like highlight which ones I'm talking about. But on stock power, we're able to push 380 wheel horsepower and 380 pound-feet of torque on this thing, which is a very impressive number. But then once we tuned it to stage 2 with BM3, we pushed 430 horsepower and 510, or even more, you guys will see the exact numbers on the screen, 510 pound-feet of torque, which is an absolutely insane amount of power, guys. And again, this is only stage 2, so you can go big turbo, you can go for an E-Mix. We actually did put a bit of E in it, and I think we got to like 450 horsepower and maybe like 530 pound-feet of torque. So this should be no surprise or really like no news to anyone. But if you want more power, the way to go is Femto unlock. And a full flash tune. So I kind of briefly touched on price, but let's go over it in a little more detail. So if you guys are wondering, in order to femto unlock your car, it's not a cheap process. So in order to do it, it costs, if you do it through Keys Motorsports, about $1,600. That's a lot of money. And again, that's only to femto unlock your car. On top of that, you still need to flash tune your car because a femto unlock is just giving you the ability to flash tune. It's not an actual tune. So $1,600, and then a tune is probably gonna cost you maybe like $700 or so. So let's just say you're all in about like 2,300 bucks or so. That's a lot of money, guys. Now look, I will say, I am sure when it comes to reselling your cars, it's gonna hold more value, especially like a Supra like this. It's gonna hold more value once it's femto unlocked, because whatever person owns this car next is probably gonna wanna also tune their car. So selling a car like this and saying that it's already been unlocked is a huge benefit. So you might get back some of that money, whereas just like a flash tune or something by itself, you probably can't. But you know, don't quote me on that. Regardless, it's a lot of money. Now, if you compare it to a piggyback tune, well, the daily one is also not cheap. That's about like $1,800. Sorry guys, it's actually snowing a lot worse than I expected, so I'm getting soaked out there. Point is, overall, femto unlock is more expensive than a piggyback tune, but in my opinion, it's worth it. Because like I was saying before, if you go to sell one of these cars, especially something like a Supra or maybe like a 340i, where you know the next owner is gonna wanna tune their car and, you know, kind of play around with it, being able to tell the potential buyer that the car has already been femto unlocked, I'm sure that's gonna be a selling point. Now, don't quote me on that. Don't come after me if that's not the case. But what I can say is for the Supras, a lot of people will seek out the 2020 Supras because they don't have to femto unlock their car. This one is a 2021. So it, in my opinion, should be just as desirable now as a 2020 because it's been unlocked. Now, obviously, money is a touchy subject, so it's totally up to you guys what you feel like is worth it or not. You guys at least know how much they cost roughly at this point, so hopefully it'll give you an idea. Now, just to conclude this video, who do I think a femto unlock is for? I think it's for someone who really wants to just genuinely tune and play around with their cars. A piggyback tune is great for someone who just wants that bit of extra power, someone who's not really like gonna be pushing their car like crazy, someone who's not gonna be putting a catless downpipe on their car. But if you see yourself putting a catless downpipe, if you're gonna want more power, if you're gonna wanna go stage 2, if you're gonna wanna customize your burbles, if you're gonna wanna be able to have a custom map or just push as much power as possible, not even push as much power as possible, honestly, like you can still push like a modest amount of power like I am right now, but you still need a femto unlock. Regardless, femto unlock is for you. I think it's worth it. It's unfortunately a lot of money, but if you guys think about it this way, if you get something like an M340 or a Supra, it's already a well-priced car, in my opinion. So if you buy an M340 for like 45, budget in another like 2,500 bucks or whatever the number I said before was for a femto unlock and a flash tune, then for 47,500 bucks, you have an absolute beast of a car and you have all the flexibility that you would ever need with a tune. So just my opinion, again, it really depends on what you guys want to do. Just think about what you want and what you want to push the car towards. Don't buy a piggyback tune just to then be like, well, I need more power, let me just femto unlock it. Because yeah, you can go and sell your piggyback tune, but they never sell for as much as you buy them for, so you'll never get all your money back. Just try to think about what you want from the beginning and then work your way up. If you want to do a femto unlock, do a flash tune, go stage 1 first, get your catless downpipe, get your high pressure fuel pump, get your better spark plugs, whatever it is, and then go stage 2, but at least that way you're ready for it from the get-go. Don't take like incremental steps, at least in my opinion. Now, if you guys are wondering why did I, because obviously I'm kind of being a hypocrite, I literally have the daily tune sitting right here. That's because, well, I use this stuff to make videos and show you guys all the options. If it was up to me, what I would do, I actually don't know. I actually really don't know, because when I had the daily tune on, it felt like plenty of power, but I also love the fact that I'm able to customize everything with the flash tune, so I probably would go femto unlock. Obviously, if you guys are deciding whether to do this or not, there's a lot to consider, so don't rush into it, think about it. If you guys know what you want, I'll leave some links down in the description below for the femto unlock. But anyways, I don't want to ramble on. Hopefully you guys get the idea. Hopefully this at least helps guide you making your decision, or just if you're just entertained. Regardless, if you like this video to any capacity, drop it a like. It helps me out big time. Hit that subscribe button if you guys want to see more videos about this Supra and the femto unlock and a whole bunch of other stuff. I still have a lot more videos to make, but as you guys can see, the weather isn't really on our side, but we'll still do that eventually. So hit that subscribe button. Stay tuned, guys. And yeah, with that said, this video is pretty much done, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.